Hey, good morning, folks. Brad Cross here, BJC Outdoors. Hey, we're down here on Tennessee River this morning. Gonna do a little catfishing, man. Gonna start up shallow. I hadn't fished this lake in probably about a month and a half. I stayed off of it. Had a lot of tournaments up here. For 2 or 3 weeks in a row, and it kind of just wanted to stay out of the area. Out of sight, out of mind type deal. Don't know how today's gonna go. The water temperature is 40 degrees, and that's the coldest I've seen it anywhere on the Tennessee River. I guess because this lake's so wide, it gets a lot of cold wind coming across it. It's cold this morning. It's about 31 degrees. It ain't too bad. I mean, a lot better than it has been. Supposed to warm up to about 60, so that'll be awesome, man, to have a day like that. You just gotta suffer till it gets here, But anyway, we got bluegill for bait today. I got fresh live bluegill. I'm gonna cut them up. I'm not gonna use them live. I got some about hand size, but we're gonna use small baits. I'll probably put 2 heads on 2 rods and body chunks on the other. But I know they'll eat bluegill, especially on this lake. This lake's full of them, and all these shells and stuff around it. That's a good choice of bait. But I'm gonna get these out, man, and see if we get us a good one. Y'all stay tuned. Good thing about this lake, there's a lot of current in places. That you normally wouldn't think they'd be current because it's so wide. And there's also places that you would think would have current that don't have current. But luckily, the places I like to fish have got current on it. They have been playing with the current on other lakes, turning it off, about mid-morning, and that's never a good thing. They can shut down a good bite, that's for sure. I lost my rag this morning on the way, so I'm gonna have to stick my hands in that cold water to clean them up. That's what we're using this morning. Bluegill head, bluegill chunks. We're just gonna space them out down through here. And that one there's probably in about 4 foot the way it hit. And I've got we're sitting in 9 foot, so pretty shallow, but this is the first water to warm up, so that's where I would want to be. If I was a fish in this cold water, I'd want to be close to the first place it's gonna warm up. So just a bunch of shallow water flats. This whole lake's full of them. Some of them are productive, some of them not. There's fish on all of them, but there's only a select few that usually hold big fish. Right now, you got to be close to deep water. That's the main thing. I'm ready to catch one of them big drag pullers on one of these ripping lips rods. Caught a lot of fish on them. I only been out twice, and I caught a lot of fish on them the first time I was out. Last time I went out, it wasn't too productive, but I did catch a few. But I caught a lot of fish on them. Just hadn't caught that big one yet. But I'm excited to see how they're gonna perform with that, because I've seen them in action, but I've never actually felt the action of a big fish on one of them. I like the mystery of trying to figure out where these fish went. When the conditions are tough like this, in the wintertime, sometimes it can take you a little time to figure out something, because there's just so much water to cover. Now, if I could stay out here and stayed with them, throughout this whole time, I don't like fishing the same lake over and over, and being gone from a lake for a month and a half, that's a long time, especially in the winter, because you got to figure out everything over again. Like I said, you kind of got to go off memories and go back to where you think they should be. But it's one thing for sure, they're between that bank and that bank. We'll figure it out eventually. I'm excited about it, man. I've been itching to get back up here. You know, I don't get to fish this lake a lot because of the wind. And then you throw in other obstacles throughout the winter. You know, like today it's supposed to be 60 degrees, but this is Friday, and then Monday we're supposed to get a major freeze and cold front. It's not supposed to get out of the low 20s for about 3 days, and that's going to be, you know, you can't come out here when it's like that. Everything freezes up, stuff don't work, you know, I mean, don't work right. I think I seen our water temperature 38 degrees one time, and that's the coldest I ever seen in my life, and it's already 40, so we're almost maxed out cold. Now, once the fish adjust to that, you know, they'll be all, you know, all across the board, you know, anywhere on the lake, you know, could possibly have fish in it. But, all right, folks, what we did, I banded that shallow area. I stopped in 2 spots, the first spot, then I stopped again before we come out here. Got bit in both spots, but they was, you know, one of them hit like a decent fish. One of them may have been a channel cat, I don't know. But I started thinking about it, you know, this water dropping like it, you know, the water temperature, pretty sure it pushed these fish out, you know, closer to the main river. So what we did, we're out here now on a secondary ledge. It's where the 6-8 foot water drops off into 10 or 12 foot. And, you know, the main river ledge is still on out there for about 100 yards. So I figure it's a good place for them to set up, you know, transition. You know, if they get ready to come up and feed, they're going to come up, you know, out of that channel. But at the same time, we're close enough to it where we can catch the fish that, you know, have moved back out of the shallow and catching some of the ones that's moving up to feed. So sometimes you got to use your head for something other than a hat rack, and that's what we're doing. If we ever find a fish, get a decent bite, then, you know, we'll try to concentrate in that depth. And, you know, if we catch 2 or 3 fish, we got a pattern. So that's what we kind of look for. We got to establish that pattern before you can even make any decisions on what you're gonna do. All right, folks, we finna abandon this plan. This wind just keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger. The trolling motor keeps coming out of the water. It's hard to anchor up fish like this out here in the conditions. The wind's supposed to be blowing from that direction out of the south, and we would have no wind here hardly at all if it had done what it said. But of course, in this area, man, it's like the Bermuda Triangle. You don't never know what's gonna happen. It's just crazy. I wouldn't have came here, or at least in this area, if I know the wind was gonna be blowing like this. But we're gonna get these up and move on to plan B. Sometimes you just gotta abandon, you know, what you plan to do. Like I said, this lake right here never disappoints when it comes to changing your plans. You know, it's hard to have a game plan coming out here on this lake, but, you know, I'm excited about it still. I ain't, even though I can't fish where I wanted to, you know, sometimes it's for the best thing to move on and do something different. So, all right, folks, we finally found us another spot. I don't think you can actually even get out of the wind when it's like this, but it is a little better over here, and I did find some warmer water. It's actually 48 degrees over here. That's 8 degrees. Well, it was about 41 when I left from over there, so it warmed up a degree. But, you know, 7-8 degrees is a big difference. And I know there's fish here. This time of year, I've fished here before many times, and anybody that's ever fished this lake will know exactly where it's at, but not necessarily the spot, but the area. It's a warm water discharge up above me here, about half a mile, quarter mile, half mile, something like that. And these fish will congregate toward that warmer water this time of year. You know, it's kind of a community hole. But like I've told y'all before, I try to find the spot within the spot in those community holes. And a lot of people don't find those spots, and the fish don't stay there. You know, they're roamers on this lake. So You know, I fished here a bunch of times, so I know, or in this area, I know the water's warmer over here, but this wasn't my plan. You know, I wasn't planning on fishing here, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do to make a trip, and that's definitely what we're doing today. Now, a lot of people come over here and catch fish to eat, you know, but I wouldn't eat a fish out of this water right here in front of this plant if I was starving. I mean, it probably don't hurt to eat the small ones, you know, 2-3 pound fish, but I definitely wouldn't eat none of these big ones out here. I hope the wind changes and actually does what they said it was going to do. Because, man, I got some good areas I really want to check. And if I don't get to check them today, it's going to be probably a week and a half before I can, because of the weather that's coming in. We're not here in this spot because we want to be. We're here because we have to be. And so, but that's not always a bad thing. We're kind of on a ledge right here. It's on the secondary ledge. It comes up right here, about 6 or 8 foot, and drops off. Right now we're sitting in 15 foot, so, and it gets a little deeper as it goes out through there, out to about 25 foot. The bite right there. I think he's got it. I don't think he's much size to him, but we'll take whatever wants to hook up today. He ain't no bad fish. Well, I can't say that really. He got a little current working with him. He's bouncing like a channel cat. No? That's a surprise right there, man. Old flathead. He's a young guy, but he's flathead. Y'all look at that pretty thing, man. Out here in this cold water. I was thinking about that a while ago. Thought, you know what? As warm as this water is over here compared to the rest of the lake, I've caught flatheads in this area, some good ones. But I thought, man, it'd be awesome to get a flathead bite. And I'd be dogged if we didn't get the flathead bite first bite. So look how pretty that fish is, man. Beautiful, beautiful colors, man. They're just so light in the wintertime. Well, buddy, I am tickled to death to see you. All right, bud. You see all that mud on his bottom, man. With flathead typically stick in the mud. But, man, that's awesome right there. You go tell your big brother, big sister, I want to see them. Folks, that tickled me to death right there. That's kind of out of my norm to catch a flathead this time of year. But if you're going to catch them, they're going to be in this warm water. That was just probably plumb disrespectful to that little guy calling him a channel cat. But he was hitting like one. He was just fast bumping, you know. Well, that's awesome right there, man. Anytime I catch a flathead, I don't care what size it is. That's a straight up blessing to me, especially in the winter, you know. Got one on right here, folks. I was trying to change out my battery. My battery on my camera. I thought, man, I'll just throw 2 out and then do it. because I didn't want to waste any time. I turned around and this one right here was bowed up. I ain't got my 2 rods out. I just pulled up on this spot. Ain't bad blue. He ain't a big one, but we'll dang sure take him. Get in here, boy. Yes, sir, we'll take you. Yeah, I was trying to get my... He took off and I seen the rod bow over back there and I thought, man, I had already took the battery out of the camera. But he stayed on there, so that was a good thing. I figured he would. He hit it hard. You know, the size fish he is, he still hit hard. So. There we go, folks. Nice blue. He ain't no big one, but hey, we'll take you, man. Thankful for you, young man. Lie. We back rolling now. I can get the rest of them out. That's a good sign, man. I just pulled up here, chunked them 2 out. Cause like I said, I didn't want to waste any time while I was up there fooling with the camera. You know, at least have a couple rods in the water. And he hit it before I ever got finished up there. Folks, that wind is whooping. I just can't get out of it. There's nowhere to get out of it. So we're gonna do the best we can do out here. Like I said, I know I can't fish my spot that I was planning on going to this morning. I seen I couldn't get there, or I couldn't fish there. There's no current there, that's one thing. There's nothing to hold you straight. So that's how we ended up where we went and started at. And that didn't pan out. And I've checked a couple spots. You know, we caught that flathead over there, and that other spot. Just caught this blue here. Like I said, we're just kind of bouncing around, picking up what we can. Bite right there already. I just throwed it out. Yeah. Take it on, big boy. Oh. We found some fish anyway. Oh, he got me all down in some junk right there. May only need 1 rod. Throwed it back in the same spot. Feels like about the same caliber of fish. Yeah, it is. He's a little bit smaller. We'll take what we can get, man. Like I said, when you can't go where you want to go, you just have to make do with it. Hey, it ain't no sense in that. Oh, I see why you all mad. You got a hemorrhoid, son. Golly, boy. Well, I'm sorry, but I ain't pushing it back in there. You need to go get that checked out, son. That don't look like that feels good. But I sure do appreciate you. Might as well bait up another one. That one hit before I could even tell you what I'm finna do. Since we got both of them bites that quick, I'm fixing to throw one right back over there. baits already baited and just see, because if them fish are stacked in like that, I'm fixing to move over about 30 yards and we may have some fun. You gonna hold on to it, son? You're gonna play cat and mouse like the other one did. All right, folks, we're finna get them up. I got one more place I want to check on my way to the truck. It's a ditch out here. It's surrounded by 5-6 foot and it drops off about 10 or 12, and it's just a ditch that runs through this flat. It's just a short ditch, probably 7,500 yards long. But I'm fixing to get these up, pull out there, and see what's going on. This right here is just kind of crazy. I'm sitting in 47 degree water, but I'm casting in the 51 degree water. There was some fish there at one time. I mean, I don't know if they just went in a little feeding frenzy for a minute or what, but it was just constant bites in that one spot. But I hadn't got a bite since, so we're gonna get them up, pull out here and check this spot before we go, and hopefully be some fish on it. All right, folks, we set up in our last spot. We're in about 8 foot of water. Kind of on a secondary ledge. This is a good area right here. Now, I don't know if there's any fish here today with this water rough as it is, being that shallow. This is it for today, man. I've run out of options out here. All right, folks, we're finna wrap this one up, man. The wind just won't give me any relief out here to try to do anything. It's pushing the boat sideways, and then the trolling motor surges and pulls forward 5 foot, and then my lines get slack in them. It's just no way to fish this part of the river, man, on the east wind, blowing down the river like it is. I don't know how they missed the wind or the temperature. It's supposed to get up 60s today, but it's afternoon, probably around 1 o'clock, and it ain't no 60 degrees. But anyway, man, we done all we could do. We only caught 3 fish, but we struggled today because I couldn't fish where I wanted to, and it's just right up the way there. I got 2 places on both sides of the river that are just covered up with catfish right now. I know they are, but I couldn't fish it, and I wasn't going to drive all the way up there and try it. Where we started at this morning was kind of my backup plan. Of course, it didn't work out either. The river got rough over there, but we fought this wind all day, and I'm ready to get out of it, man. It's just nothing really going on. The fish are kind of just doing nothing, I probably could have sat out there on that warm water discharge and caught a few more small ones, but that ain't what we out here for today. But anyway, folks, I appreciate y'all watching. I'll catch y'all on the next one. See you then, and God bless you.